what's up guys, and welcome back to another Real Madrid review. Real Madrid 5, Atletico Madrid 3, as Real Madrid progress into the final of the Supercopa. Atletico Madrid are out. Lots to talk about after an exciting game, and if you are neutral, that would have been a very exciting game to watch. Of course, if you're an Atletico Madrid fan, you wouldn't want to rewatch the highlights. And as a Real Madrid fan, yes, I'm sure Real Madrid fans are happy, and I'm happy with the result. But there's a lot to talk about and dissect in terms of the problems, because the problems are still there. The problems still need to be called out and resolved. But there are definitely positives and there are negatives, and that is really part of the work that we do. I mean, it's part of everyday life. Things that you do, there are going to be positives and there are going to be negatives. And, obviously there were a lot of positives, but there were also negatives as well in this game. But let's talk about the goals. Let's start off with the goals. 8 goals, obviously an 8-goal thriller. Really good game. First goal, Atletico Madrid scored through Mario Hermoso. It's a free header. And in the preview that I did, I said block the crosses because they are going to attack us with crosses. And whether that be a cross from their wing backs, whether that be cross from corners, it doesn't matter. As long as the ball is able to be put in the air, in the box, someone will get at the end of it. When we played them last time around at the Wanda Metropolitano, they were constantly putting crosses in, and Morata was always heading it in. Now, obviously, he didn't score a header this time round, but Hermoso did. Off a corner, it's a free header, by the way. It's a free header. No one, not a single player went over to Hermoso to block him off, to cover him. It's a free header. And then the funny thing is, right, after 14 minutes, Rudiger gets the same. Free header, corner for Modric into the box, free header, 1-1. And we were looking like we were going to have a good game from then on. And then 9 minutes later, Carvajal, little ball into the box for Mendy, who has a little bit of a touch, taps it in, a slight touch. That's all he needed. Good finish from Mendy, who I thought was good. Obviously, could have done better for that second goal, but we'll get on to that. Atletico's second goal is what I was just going to get onto, but Griezmann, by the way, gets a free run. Now, I'm not sure, was it Bellingham or someone went down? If I'm not wrong, they got pushed by Griezmann, but it was not like a heavy push. It was just like, one-on-one man marking, and you lose that battle. But I'm not sure why this, because Griezmann was at the edge of the box, right? He was not in the box. He was at the edge of it. I'm not sure why Tchouaméni didn't close him down. Valverde, I have no idea where he was, and the two centre backs didn't close him down more. Griezmann got a free shot at the edge / in the box. I'm not sure if he shot in the box, but he had a free run through the midfield and into the defense. I have no idea why. Mendy should have done better. He was walking, by the way. And you know what? I do know that players tend to walk more, but it was almost like there was no urgency. It was like, let's see what Griezmann can do. And then when Griezmann finally shows that, he can dribble past through the 4 players, he can run through the whole midfield, then let's get some urgency. You can't let him have the ability to get past the entire midfield and then decide to do something. No. Get at him. Get the ball away from this danger zone, or you'll concede. And that was that second goal. Halftime, for the first 30 minutes after the start of the second half, it was pretty much, quiet until the own goal from Rudiger, which I think 75% of it goes down to Kepa, that's for sure. But I have no idea where this Kepa slander is coming from. Now, personally, I don't think Kepa will ever be the starter keeper because we still have Thibaut Courtois, and let's make that clear. But, firstly, let's talk about the cross, because the cross, like the first goal, we should have marked. We should have marked the player. We should not have let him get the cross in. And I'm not gonna blame Rudiger for that because he had a great game. It's unfortunate because he tried to jump to head the ball away. Kepa instead came out, kind of pushed the ball into him, and it went to the back of the net. But I'm just saying, let's not have this Kepa slander right now because we conceded a goal, and because we concede, it's always the keeper's fault. Like, let's not have that. Where was the 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 marking? Where was the blocking of the cross from coming in? Where was it? If I'm not wrong, it was Samuel Lino who got the cross in. Where was the marking? Again, it's a free cross. And what did we say? Atletico Madrid are going to play in one way and one way only. They're not going to play with us using pace. They're not going to get at us with quick players because simply the attack isn't rapid. They don't have a player who can himself individually use his pace like a Vinicius. They don't have a Vinicius Junior. They don't have that player who can get at us. So instead, they have their fullback slash wingback slash wingers get crosses in because they are physical side. They're not a technical side. They are physical side. So if you know that Atletico Madrid are going to be a physical side, why would you allow them to get balls, get crosses into the box, get free headers in the box, get threats into the box? Those crosses they put in were threats. The first goal, the third goal, they were threats. And I feel bad for Kepa for that, but he has to do better than that. He cannot just push it to his defender and, oh, alright, so be it. You can't. You have to think smarter than that at the moment. Of course, the pressure is there, but I just think as a professional keeper playing at the top of your game, you have to do better than that. If there was in a Champions League final, that would be costly. And also, if you didn't score the third goal, and then the fourth, and then the fifth, that would have been costly as well. Speaking of the third goal, Carvajal does really well. Vinicius Junior, his technical ability, his pace, getting in behind the defense. His shot saved by Oblak. Bellingham on a rebound, blocked, and then it was off the line by Hermoso, if I'm not wrong. And then Carvajal just comes in and just slaps it into the net, And I thought Carvajal was the best player, and he was the man of the match, and he rightfully was because he was playing really, really well in the second half, I thought. And then extra time after 116 minutes, Carvajal does really well. The cross into the box. I'm not sure if Stefan Savic gets a touch on it, but Jose Lu's header somehow deflects into the box. I'm not sure if that was given as Jose Lu's goal, but good header. And that really finally separated the two teams apart because first half Atletico had the momentum, and then we got the goal back, and then we got the lead, and then they got it back, and then they got the lead, and then we got it back. It was really a yo-yo. It wasn't clear who was going to win, and it was back and forth really. So that fourth goal, when we scored in 116 minutes, kind of sealed it, and then obviously the fifth goal to wrap it up. A throw in from Atletico Madrid. I'm not sure what Oblak is doing. Yes, sometimes when you're losing by a goal and you're deep into the last few minutes, the keeper comes out, but he came out, they lost the ball. It's a foot race between Brahim Diaz and Oblak, and I think Brahim Diaz is always going to win that race, especially considering he came on in the second half, if I'm not wrong, and he was definitely he was not like a player who has been playing the full game, so he was still pretty energetic as well, and it's a good finish, but it was an empty net, so definitely not something that Atletico Madrid will be proud of to concede at fifth. But like I said, as a neutral, it's a good game. 22 shots to 11 for Real. We had as many shots on target as they had shots in general, 11 to 6. More of the ball, more passes, better pass accuracy. They made more fouls, which obviously we expect from Atletico Madrid. But obviously Real Madrid into the final, Atletico out, I want to go through the starting 11. Kepa, I thought he was actually alright. The first goal, you can't blame him, right? Like I said, unmarked defender, unmarked players, and it's an unmarked header. It's a free header. The second goal, you can't blame him because, again, Griezmann was able to run through the whole midfield and get out of defense. Again, unmarked. The third goal, yes, it's Kepa's fault. But we cannot blame the keeper fully for one goal. And I'm not going to say he had a bad performance because of one goal. Because we ended up still winning, yes, but I'm not going to use it as an excuse. Because that goal wasn't like he passed the ball from his box. He should have just passed the ball to the attacker and it was a free goal. It was not that. But it was a poor mistake. But I don't think he deserves to be called out as in he made the worst mistakes. He made a lot of mistakes. You know, he gave an empty goal. I'm not gonna be that guy. And I think we have to stop, trying to blame one player or just a player and look at it. Because if the cross doesn't come in, we don't concede. And that is the moral of the story. Carvajal, man of the match. Definitely. First half was a little bit quiet. Of course, he got the assist for Mendy, but the second half got a goal. Technically assisted for Jose Lu as well. I'm not sure if he got the assist, but was a much more lively player. The leadership, the experience showed it. Rudiger scored a good headed goal. Again, unmarked, but for us, we'll take it, right? This is third game in a row that he's been really consistent and he's been good. And I've always said this, right? I know Alaba and I know Militao are gonna be the starters, no matter what. When they are fit, they're gonna be the starters. But let's not disrespect Rudiger, because I think he's definitely deserving of the shirt and he's deserving of the starting position. So, of course, we'll have this debate again as to whether Rudiger deserves to start. And I think he does. He showed it this season that having to come in, being the main centre back, and he had to play with Militao at the start, and then obviously got injured. So Alaba, and then Nacho, and then obviously he has been able to play and have the same performance for the whole season. He has not stepped a foot wrong, and that is probably the best way to describe it. And let's give him the credit he deserves. Nacho, didn't really notice much. I don't think he was poor. Mendy's got the goal, but apart from that, it is, as always, midfield already Tchouaméni, Modric. Tchouaméni is very important. Modric got the assist, of course, for that first goal. Bellingham was quieter than he usually is, but like I said, this is not going to be a player who's going to score you 30, 35 goals a season. He will pop it with maybe 15 to 20 where he can get that share of the pie, but he's not going to be the one that you call to. Simple as. The two up front, Rodrigo, I thought was pretty quiet, and Vinicius Junior set up that third equalizing goal. So overall, a solid performance all round. Cruz, Camavinga, Jose Lu, who came on to score the winning goal. Ceballos, Brahim Diaz, who scored the goal that wrapped it up, and Arda Güler came on. But overall, I would say it's a pretty good performance. It's a pretty good performance, and happy about that. Yeah, certainly. Now, Barcelona won their game against Osasuna, so they are gonna be the team we take on in the final. I haven't watched the game just yet, so I'm not gonna act like I saw a lot. Based on stats, Barca dominated, but you look at the team that they put out, right? That team with those players, you can win that game, and definitely I think we will be going in as favourites. But let's not get too over ourselves, because clearly we looked at the game against Atlético. We had a lot of weaknesses defensively. Going forward, I think Real Madrid are good, right? In terms of Vinicius, Rodrigo, now that Vini is back, yeah. Joselu and Brahim Diaz and Adegula, who is back now, they can, come in and help out. But certainly, when you talk about defensively, we are seeing too many mistakes defensively, and that has to be something we work on. Definitely. But I hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. Hit the like button if you did, subscribe to the channel if it's on already, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.